Chris, and I'd like to show you how I converted my 1993 Chevy Lumina into a car camper. Before we get started, I'd like to tell you who I am, basically. Hi, I'm Bailey. Well, I'm now a maritime historian. I got my master's degree in maritime history at ECU. And I've been to school twice. Before that, I went to University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, to study astronomy and in general in science. And the thing about the maritime studies degree, it's kind of like a combination of science and history. So it's staying within that same vein. But ever since I was 16, I had done genealogy for both sides of my family, and genealogy was a uniquely competent thing that I have always done for almost all my adult life, and so I think that that particular pursuit made me uniquely qualified to find Blackbeard's family, and that's basically what I have been doing since 2016 when I graduated, and I've been working on pirate history, but I do it from a very different perspective because I never wanted to research pirates in the first place, but I found Blackbeard's family living on Jamaica, so I figured I better go ahead and do this. Anyway, there's a YouTube channel for my work. It's called Quest for Blackbeard. So is the book, and the book's available on Amazon, any of the online booksellers. You can find it in any of those places. Hello. One of the handiest tools that I have ever used on the interior build, when you're working with the wood. Anyway, was this tool. It's called a contour gauge, and it's great for getting around odd places, like the interior of a car. The floorboard is not flat. Anytime you remove the seats and look at it, it looks like some kind of convoluted brain malfunction, and so there's a lot of odd bumps in there. This contour gauge, what you do, you put it up against something like that contour, or like a pipe around the bottom base of the wall or something, and you press it into the point that you want to work with, and then you lock it here, and then you take this over to the piece of wood you're cutting, and you can take a marker, a pen or a pencil, whatever, and mark it on the inside. That gives you the exact contours of that odd shape that you've got to fit around. And this works well on the floor of a car when you've got to build your wooden pieces to fit perfectly in order to maximize use of the space. You can see here where I use the contour gauge to work around the contours of the car floor to be able to cut this support for my refrigerator. You can see here where I use the contour gauge to match the contours of the floor of the car as far as building the main pantry box. And here you can see the plans that I have so far. The fridge comes first, then the pantry box right behind it with the microwave sitting on top of it. Then there's a plate that's going to with the power and the water, and then the AC is going to be in the back of the car because it has to vent in the trunk. Now this is the AC unit that's to be installed. It's the make and type is in the description below. It's 5,000 BTUs, and it will supply. It can be set on very low settings, so the power usage wouldn't drain my power cell. The main thing about me is that I'm a tinkerer. I work on all kinds of things. I can't stay still. I just can't. Anyway, when I decided to build this car, I wanted to do two things. Well, one basically. I saw a lot of other YouTubers, as far as energy was concerned, using butane or propane to power cooking utensils and or cooking devices, and I know that the use of those items puts carbons into the atmosphere, and I didn't want to continue that pattern. So I wanted to build this thing as beefy as I could on solar power, so that it would provide all the needs that I had as far as air conditioner, the refrigerator, and cooking. And I didn't have to use anything that would harm the environment later on. As for the solar panels on this car, I have 100 watt on the hood. I've got 160 watt that's on the roof of the car. And I've put a 50 watt on the trunk, obviously because it wouldn't fit anywhere else. Of course, I wanted to have all the power I needed. So the EB150 is a power generator, a power center that is capable of providing 1,000 watts of power at a time, and it will, with 500 watts of solar power, it can be recharged in 3 hours, which was a very, very important consideration. Now, the Jackery 2000, I've heard from a fellow YouTuber, Nikki Delventhal. She does a wonderful presentation of that. And they have done some wonderful work on that Jackery, and it's very, very capable, although it's a lot more expensive than the EB150. But I would prefer to get that, I think, if I had a choice. Well, that's all for now. I'm going to take off and, well, get some rest. I've done enough work for the day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Is that little button down there somewhere? I think in that direction. Anyway, subscribe. Let me know what you think about it. Leave comments, whatever you want to do. Every comment is helpful because I've learned everything from YouTubers, and and the people who watch YouTube, like you guys. See ya.